mean, that is the criticism Dick Petra has got is you're strong. You know, he said the other day on stream, some people say, oh, you're strong arming the auctions, all this stuff. Then his response is, well, it's fair game. You know, we're not doing anything that anyone else couldn't do. It's already baked into the system. You know, what is the for and against case for Poly being a force for good or a force for now we don't get some HSIs, the little guy.
To be honest, I haven't been able to really understand the against, and a lot of people have been really anti it, and I should probably be able to articulate their arguments better, but I think they have this idea that they want people to buy these get these HSIs and then throw them straight back in for ICOSA, and they just want that to happen perpetually. And I think that that's how the system was meant to be or something. And I just think there's a lot of faulty logic with that. So I don't really get the big hate on Poly. I'm probably not the best person to articulate their arguments.
Yeah, that's one of the arguments where they're like, you're limiting the number of HSIs that can be recycled, and then like HSIs going through the liquidation auction is the vitalization event for the entire ecosystem. And so
I mean, yes and no. Yes and no.
Yes, like, it's one of them. It's a major one, though. It's definitely a major one.
The ability to do that, but not necessarily that people have to be doing it. Like what we want is people to be able to actually borrow real money for it, you know, like from these stakes. And that's what if they... And
that's the original one, yeah.
We don't even really want people to get liquidated, do we? But it's... just the ability to do it fires the system, not necessarily that you have to do it, you know. But in any case, it was really interesting going through the valuation, and the valuation is really similar between putting the hex stake in to get the ICOSA. And so what you're really betting on when you're doing that is the long-term value of holding a hex stake versus the long-term value of getting ICOSA. And I mean, what are they doing with that ICOSA? Are they staking it, or are they just turning it into USDC? It really depends on what they do with that ICOSA. But let's say that people play the game of just getting it in ICOSA and staking it more. What's the long-term value of those two things? I mean, I would argue that the long-term value there's more long-term value in holding the HSI for a really long term, because the ICOSA is an incentive token, and the first year that it's coming out, there is a large incentive to have it. This is where all the inflation is, a lot of the inflation. And so, yeah, lots of people really like ICOSA at the moment. But after that year ends and there's a lot less yield coming out for ICOSA, it's going to depend on other tokenomics to maintain its value. And so, I'm more bullish of the triumvirate. I'm more bullish on Hex and Hedron than I am on ICOSA long term. And so, knowing that, I'm not going to buy HSIs to put them back in for more ICOSA so that I can stake ICOSA so that I can get more ICOSA. Yeah, I'll do that for a while, and I did that on day one or whatever. But long term, I mean, maybe people will be attracted to that as a mechanic, but I just think that holding the HSI is probably going to be more valuable in 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 15 years.